All right, back at it again.
Back at
Rambling
it.
with the homies, episode three.
We in here, episode 3.
Episode three. Before we start off anything, just want to say, after we recorded the second episode, I officially got us on the Apple Podcast. So big round of applause for me. Thank you. Um, yeah, so you can catch us on Apple Podcasts. Working on Spotify. If anyone wants to listen to it on Spotify, we'll get that taken care of. But yeah, I guess we'll go into everyone's weekends. How are you guys' weekends?
You go ahead, JD.
Oh man, did I do? Got to play ball with my man Langston, man.
Yes, sir.
Got invited with one of our old friends from middle school, Fernando, man. Uh, got to play some ball with some old friends, man. It was a good time. Then got to see the family on Sunday, but got to watch some good basketball weekend. Real tough basketball, but solid weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend that hoop session, but I had something going on. So JD and Langston know this a little bit, but I've been working with Special Olympics when I've been at University of Louisville. So I've actually been lucky enough to be selected to a team that's going to the USA games in Orlando over the summer. So we had a scrimmage this weekend that went pretty well at Louisville, and it's been really fun working with those athletes and just gelling together to see how good we're gonna do. We also just got something that's gonna be a really cool experience that I'll probably talk about go into more detail next podcast, but we're gonna get to attend we're gonna get to play at Xavier's actual arena. We're gonna do a scrimmage there against the Ohio State team that's going down to the USA game. So it'll be a really cool practice and a good experience for the athletes to play on the real 94-foot court and everything that they have. So that'll
That's
be
gonna
really
be
cool.
sick.
That's
Mhm.
dope.
So with like Special Olympics, I've never really like watched it or like participated in anything. I know Kentucky usually has a high school track Special Olympics.
Mhm.
I think in the spring. Never had the chance to get to see it while I was here in undergrad. But do like the athletes take it like pretty competitively, or like how do they just have fun with it?
Oh, so I was for there are certain levels, there are different divisions of it. So there are some like I'd be a little bit more for fun and things like that. But like the level we play at, all our athletes are playing to win. Obviously, we're there to
Nice.
have fun, have a good
Yeah.
time, but they are all very competitive. This will be my maybe my fifth or sixth year working with Special Olympics since I've been at Louisville. So like we've been to two national tournaments like in 2016. I think that was my sophomore year. We went up to Ohio State for a nurse tournament. We ended up being placing. We claim we were second. We lost a team from Toronto, so we say we're the national champions, and then we were the international runners up. Then we went to Wichita State the next year, which is a decent experience. Got to play some new schools from like Oregon and things like that, and it was a really good time. We didn't do as well, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
So
It sounds
it's
like
been really
a fun experience. It's like something that not a lot of people get to do.
Yeah, we're working on trying to enhance that program, 'cause especially with unified sports, which is basically when athletes, like Special Olympic athletes, will partner up with like people, college students, high school students, anything like that, and just play different sports. So like right now, we've done unified basketball. We've done like 5-on-5 leagues with them. We've done a 4v4 league that we partnered with the women's University of Louisville's women's basketball team. So we had some of all the athletes and all the women's basketball players. They all came out, and then they were some of our coaches and had a big event that day. And then we've had like bocce ball, human foosball, a lot of different things. We try to do a really good partnership with them, and it's been really fun for us.
That's pretty sweet. Um, do you know how many universities in Kentucky that do Special Olympics type stuff? Because at least from my perspective, from everything that I've heard or
Mhm.
seen, like I haven't really seen anything with University of Kentucky to do it. But
Mhm.
that's just me probably not knowing, or if they don't have one, then I don't know about it.
We're, I think, just off my memory for sure. I think we're the main one that does a lot of the stuff with Special Olympics right now and partners with them. I
Mhm.
know UK, they looked at what we did a few years ago and they're starting to try to implement like some of those programs that we do and partner, because we just had a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little longer than that. We had a showcase where some Special Olympic athletes are from like the Lexington area, and some UK partners came up and we had another scrimmage against them that helped prepare us for like the USA games that we're gonna go down to in June.
Nice. Yeah, definitely when you go down there, you have to take some videos and we'll have to
Mhm.
post it on. Hopefully by then we have a good social media up and running,
Right.
in the works of that. But that'd be cool.
Yep.
I guess on my end for the weekend, obviously I got to go hoop with JD on Saturday. Uh, Tennis had a match on Friday against Vanderbilt. Unfortunately, did not play that well. But back at it again this weekend. Then Sunday I just kind of had lazy day. Just kind of took the day to myself. I usually don't have a lot of days off, but I took that morning and early afternoon, just laid around the house and did nothing. So that was my weekend. I had fun. Still recovering from that 2.5 hour basketball session on Saturday. I haven't played basketball in forever, so my back was hurting today. Um, but maybe one day I'll get back into it, full time.
We'll
Where
get to
y'all
the point.
this weekend?
JD.
What do you say, JD?
Langston, where y'all at this weekend?
We're at home, so we play Florida on Friday, and we play South Carolina on Sunday.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. But speaking about basketball, I know EJ's a big advocate for women's NCAA basketball. He loves it. I mean, even you like WNBA. So tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about the tournament. I can speak for myself. I don't know how JD does, but I don't watch a lot of women's basketball. I think it's a lot more fun to watch in person. Especially when I have time to go. On TV, it's kind of like hard to watch because one, they don't really show it as much, and two, it's just a different game. Like I like watching it in person a lot better. One, it's kind of hard for me to watch basketball on TV just because how basketball is played nowadays, men's and women's. But yeah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the tournament.
It's been a really good tournament so far. Right now we have one of the bigger upsets and one of the teams that went far. We had Creighton that ended up going all the way to Elite Eight and just barely missed out on beating, I believe it was NC State to go to the or let me see, I'm trying to figure out. They barely lost to NC State to go to that would have sent them to the Elite Eight, which is where all the games are going on right now. Right now, tonight was a really good basketball night for the women's side. UConn and NC State just they had a double overtime game that came down to the wire with Paige buckets coming back, and she was hot in that whole second half. It was great to watch. Right now, we got Michigan playing Louisville in a close game with about 2 minutes left. That's been really good. Like women's basketball is honestly, I enjoy watching it more than men sometimes, just because you learn so much more. Like they're all
Hmm.
fundamentally sound. They're so technical. They all don't just win by athleticism like they do in the men's sports and things like that.
Yeah.
And like for me personally, I have like my older sisters played basketball. Then I have a cousin that played at UConn, went to the WNBA, won national championships and WNBA titles and things like that. So I've always tried to follow the game and been close to it. But it's been a really good tournament so far. And if Louisville hopefully pulls out the W, the Final Four is going to be really good. Right now we have UConn and Stanford. That's going to be one of the matchups on the other side. And South Carolina is waiting for this winner of the Louisville Michigan game, which like I said, I'm hoping Louisville pulls through, which I think we can.
Yeah. I will say that I watched the women's SEC tournament to watch Kentucky basketball.
Mhm.
I watched their first game. I forgot who they played. And I was like, okay, let's get a win. And then I watched every single game they played and just run the gauntlet. Unfortunately, I was working, so I didn't get to watch a South Carolina game. But just the way like they were playing all tournament is really exciting. Obviously, rooting for Kentucky is one thing, but two is just like watching them play after they had a rough season,
Mhm.
pretty much in the regular season, and just killing teams in the tournament and beating South Carolina was huge. I think that's her first SEC title, and I don't
I think
remember
it's
the
it was
exact.
it was a long
It's been
time.
a while.
Yeah.
Um, but that was exciting, and that kind of like rejuvenated like women's basketball for me. I was like,
Mhm.
wow, maybe I should watch this more.
Yeah.
Add on that real quick as well. Man, I love women's hoops just on the basis of fundamentals. Like obviously they're not going to beat you with athleticism, and um, it's obviously it's not men's hoops, but just watching it, man, just the fundamental ways they play basketball, man. And my dad, he's a well-known referee, high school referee in the state of Kentucky right now. And growing up in my household, my dad always had basketball on every night during basketball season. And if the WNBA is on, he's watching that. If girls college hoops is on, he's watching that. So always growing up, I got the chance to just actually watch women's hoops, and it's just you know, growing up in a basketball household, you're gonna watch anything that deals with basketball. So yeah,
It's just a matter of making sure everybody knows it's out there because, I mean,
exactly.
all the NBA players, a lot of the high profile people say the women's game is where you want to go to study the game. That's where all the savants go, like Chris Paul. I've really enjoyed seeing Chris Paul, the Phoenix Suns, support the Mercury and everything like that when they were there this past season. And then it's just really nice to have teams that are like teams and pro teams and men and women that are in the same cities and show the support for each other. 'Cause I think what was it? Who was the dude from the Kings that just got traded to the Pacers?
Hallenberg.
Yeah, Halliburton.
Yeah, because he said something. Maybe it was a couple of weeks ago. He said like he's excited to be in a city that has a WNBA teams because he likes the league and be able to go to games now. It's gonna be really cool and meet some of those players. So that's just something like that. We need more of that, and hopefully people can watch it and get into it because those are still some of the best athletes in the world right there for women's sports. And as much as men say like, "Oh, I could take them one on one," you are completely wrong. WNBA players, even NCAA women's players, they will beat you one on one very easy, and it won't be close.
Mhm. I
Heard a
think
lot of egos.
I think one thing that needs to change is one getting them on TV more. I think a lot of the time the men like dominate them on like ESPN and whatever CBS. I think for college basketball. I think at least for SEC, I know the women are kind of just only slated for the SEC network, which not everyone has. I don't know if they're on ESPN Plus. I'm sure they might be. But I think that needs to change, especially with WNBA coming out. They're starting to get more. I think they got a new recently TV deal. Did they, EJ?
I
With
think
ESPN? Not
they
like,
I don't know if they got a TV deal. There's something where it's supposed to be getting some more money into it, but I think they
yeah,
also this is gonna be the first year this year coming up where they have like the fantasy basketball for the WNBA. So they're introducing that this year,
yeah.
which
Oh
I
yeah, I
like
forgot about
that's
that.
gonna be really cool.
That'd be sweet. I'm not one for fantasy basketball because you have to change your lineup every single day, and I even forget to do that for fantasy football. So,
I will say this: fantasy basketball right now. I'm actually in the championship right now.
really?
Championship with my guys from Moorhead, man. We this is our second year doing it. I think we play for $250. Winner gets 250. I think second place gets nothing, so you don't have to pay. I think we pay $50 to get in.
Hmm.
So if you come in second, you don't have to pay, but winner gets 250.
So do you, so sorry, what were you saying?
I won last year, and right now I'm in the championship. I think I'm up 300 tonight. I need to check the leaderboards, but I think
Nice.
our last day is Sunday. So if I keep it, I'll be a two timer. So
So so do you guys pay beforehand or do you pay after?
we pay after, but it's
Oh, that's
bro.
risky.
Exactly what you said. It's exhausting, bro. Like you have to. My thing is, I set my lineups on Sunday and just go through each day. And but what killed me this year, I went like on a 5 week losing streak because of COVID. So it's like I had so many guys out, and like I have AD on my IR right now. He's been on my IR for like months. So it's like
Man,
Tough.
he's coming back next week.
it's too late now. I need him
I
this year.
don't care. Laker fan, Laker Nation, right here, man. We're
Yeah,
coming
Laker
back.
Nation, bro. Laker Nation.
You're not a Laker fan, Langston. Get out of here.
Like,
Nah, but yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll get back into fantasy basketball. I'm just too lazy to change my lineups.
it's tough.
And the second thing I was going to say about women's basketball, kind of like what you said, EJ, a lot of people say that women's basketball sucks. If people who say that obviously clearly have not watched women's basketball or have only limited to like random high school women's basketball games.
Mhm.
But I highly encourage everyone to start watching women's basketball again, like I did with the SEC tournament. It's actually really fun to watch, especially when you got like a really good underdog team, or even like just watching UConn, Stanford, South Carolina, and even like Louisville play like really good basketball too.
Honestly, just go to a game, man. Going
Yeah,
to a women's game, like the energy is always up. The bench is always into the game. They're always talking. Like I said, they're not going to beat you with athleticism, but the fundamentals of the game, talking. It's a high energy game, and those are the best games to watch, honestly.
especially like from what I watched is seeing Ryan Howard, who's a top three WNBA pick this year, from Kentucky. She's killer, and I know JD says that like they're not gonna kill you with athleticism. Some of those girls will. Some of those girls like impress me a lot. I'm like, wow, like there's no way I could go up against her, or else I'm getting crossed over.
You got girls in high school dunking now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is insane.
I mean, they have the girl from Stanford that she dunks, and like if she's on a fast break, she'll get a dunk. She's dunked like I think
Yeah,
once or twice in the tournament already.
they're throwing alley hoops off the backboard. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's insane. The game's evolving, and it's only getting better.
Exactly.
Speaking of excitement, Uh, as we're recording this, this is Monday night. So clearly everything has calmed down a little bit. But let's talk about the Oscars last night between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Hey
Now,
man,
there's a lot of different opinions going out there, so I'm just gonna open the floor for you guys. So
that smack her around the world. Man, that Will Smith and Chris Rock thing really broke Twitter last night.
really
That's
did.
all.
My Twitter was not loading forever. People were
Mhm.
posting pictures, gifs, and I couldn't even see them till like this morning.
It was craziness. It took me a minute to even figure out what was going on. We just got one of our friends just texted us in our group chat, saying, "Hey man, you see what's going on at the Oscars?" We were all just trying to catch. Us like, "What's going on?" We trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out how to watch it. I didn't know. It
I
was
thought it was.
crazy,
Oh, I thought they were shooting a promo because
right?
Yeah,
it looked like a WWE slap.
yeah.
Like he
Well,
leaned into it to see Chris Rock, but I'm like, bro.
Well, someone texted me this morning. They were like, "Hey, did you watch WWE SmackDown last night at the Oscars?" I was like, "Well, one, SmackDown's on Fridays.
Yeah.
Two, I was like, yes, I did see it. I didn't watch it live. Like EJ was saying, our friend texted us in our group chat and was like, "Did you watch the Oscars?" I'm like, "I never watch the Oscars. I don't watch any of those award shows unless like something big is happening or someone's performing." But yeah, I looked up on as soon as he said that, I looked up on Twitter, was scrolling to find the video, and then instantly like me, EJ, and then our buddy threw like all the videos in to our Twitter group chat, and we just were like, "Wow, that really happened."
Yeah, I was like, when it first happened, I was like, everybody was trying to figure out, I was like, was that real? Was that fake? Was it staged? And then you saw that a response when I think it was like the Australian audio and
Yeah, the
Japan.
uncensored version. Yeah,
Once the situation started hearing that and seeing what Will was saying, like, oh, but wait a second, that seemed real.
yeah,
Then seeing some of that behind the scenes stuff too. I think like with that commercial right after that, Denzel and Tyler Perry were talking to him, and Will was
hmm
crying and talking to Jada. A lot of stuff going on. I mean, I feel like I feel like both parties are sort of in the wrong there. You know, Chris Rock didn't necessarily have to make that joke with something with Jada, talking with her hair loss and things like that. Sorry if
yeah.
my stuff's going off. Louisville just won, so all my family's texting me.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, like black women and with how black women with their how important hair is and things like that, and then hearing those jokes and her struggling with that hair loss, that was just probably like the tipping point. And then with Will, it probably took him a moment to process what happened. Like he was laughing at the joke, then he realized like, wait a second, he might have looked at Jada and saw it really hurt her. That could have just been like the final feather on his back that broke it, and he went up, didn't handle it the way he should have, but it is what it is. And we have a lot of good content and memes and pictures and gifs and everything. So,
So,
Jay, go
so
ahead.
I'll go back and backtrack for those who are listening to the podcast, and if you guys for some reason have not heard what was said. Basically, Chris Rock was talking about Jada and talking about how she would win Best Actress for if she something about reprising her role for G.I. Jane 2. Then everyone starts laughing. Will starts laughing. You can clearly see Jada's not happy with it. And then you see Will Smith walk up, smack Chris Rock, and Rock's like, "Oh wow," and just like starts laughing. He's like, "I just got smacked the heck out of by Will Smith." And then Will Smith's like, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." And Chris Rock replies with, "Oh, it's just GI Jane joke. Like take it easy." And he's like, "No, keep my wife's name out your mouth." And he's like, "All right, it was just a joke." And then clearly it's a bunch of tension. Everything's really awkward. Cuts to commercial break. Um, but yeah, that's just want to backtrack on that. JD, what did you think?
Feel like Will Smith could have handled that in a different manner. Um, Definitely could have waited for a commercial break when when things are calming down, where he can pull Chris Rock to the side, probably slap him in the back. I would have supported that instead of
Yeah.
slapping him on, on live TV. But one thing I did see with all these memes and all these tweets on Twitter, apparently Chris Rock did something just like this in 2016. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was looking that up before we recorded.
That was
Yeah,
the it was the year they boycotted because he didn't get nominated for Best Actor for the Concussion movie.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's like for Chris Rock to lash out at them again, knowing they're sitting front row. Like come on, you already know there's bad tension there. I don't know what the relationship was before it, but clearly you can see that Will's probably been holding this aggression in for a while. And honestly, Will Smith being the idol that he is, he could have definitely handled that in a different manner. But one thing I will say, and I'll pass it on to Langston. I did not like how Stephen A's viewpoint on
Yeah.
everything. On the whole,
what did he say exactly? Because I read it this morning, but I forgot what he said.
If you give me a second, I'll pull it up and
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
read it for you.
JD, keep talking while EJ is looking it up.
while EJ is looking at I was just looking at little clips of what Stephen A posted and like just him lashing out at Will Smith and just trying to bring in Black lives and how it's already hard enough that it's hard for us to have a minority host
Mhm.
Oscars at that, and then we actually get the chance to do it. Then you have two minorities on the stage doing something like that. So it's like I understand where Stephen A. is coming from, but like with your platform and knowing that your voice speaks louder than our words will ever will potentially, but for him to say that and for him just to lash out at Will Smith like that instead of just asking Will if he needs help.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to worry about Chris Rock. Chris Rock was out of pocket for what he said. I understand it's a award show. Jokes are gonna fly, but clearly you saw the joke didn't it wasn't appropriate. So
Yeah. So I have what he tweeted out like directly after it happened. I obviously haven't seen some like the videos that JD said he saw, but like he said, this is Stephen A. Smith. I said, total BS by Will Smith. If his night is ruined because of this, he deserves it. The man has Denzel and Bradley Cooper trying to calm him down. For what? A joke about his wife and G.I. Joe? Come on. The shit was embarrassing. A very, very bad look. Love Will, but not after this BS. So, like, I don't know. Heat in the moment, I don't really agree with that. You don't really know all the details. Obviously, you're just seeing what you saw on TV, but I don't know. I just don't think you should be tweeting something like that out immediately after that. We don't know what's going on. But I'll pass that over to
Yeah,
you, Len.
definitely. So I got a few things. One, I still think it's crazy that, I mean, obviously it's a bunch of celebrities down there, but I think award shows like that are like one of the only few moments you can just see anyone walk up on stage and just say something and do something. I mean, we've seen it now with Will Smith. Obviously the famous Kanye and Taylor Swift. I just thought that's crazy, and a little bit funny. But second of all, yeah, just talking about Will Smith laughing, and it's one thing for him to laugh, and then look over at Jada and see that she's obviously not okay with it. Obviously, I don't think violence is always the answer. And made good content.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of news reporters are going to talk about it. Um, I've heard rumors that Chris Rock didn't know about it and didn't know about her condition. Don't know if that's true or not. I feel like if you're a celebrity, you probably know about it. I, for one, don't really keep up with celebrities that much unless it's sports figures, so I didn't really know about it. I didn't even understand the joke. I didn't even know what he said at first until I read the comments and they said G.I. Jane. I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. A little bit out of pocket, but I think like I don't know if like Chris Rock like cares about other people's opinions or cares about going too far out of pocket. I mean, we've seen people like Dave Chappelle not really care because Dave Chappelle. But I did hear, I was listening to one radio show that Chris Rock is going on tour this summer with Kevin Hart, and that they feel like that's the first 20 minutes of his comedian, uh, yeah, that comedian content. Like that's just what he's going to use for the next tour. So I don't know if he was planning on that or just wanted to make a joke and went too far and kind of realized he went too far. I haven't heard anything if Chris Rock came out and said anything. I read before we recorded this that Will Smith apologized to Chris Rock.
Mhm.
Last night he didn't. Oh, if I remember correctly, he didn't really apologize to Chris Rock while he accepted his award. He
Right.
just apologized to like the Academy and everyone there.
Yeah.
One person brought out a good point. Sorry, JD, you got something?
No, just off what you said. If our viewers, anytime, if y'all could just pull up that clip of Will Smith's apology, it's like a 5 minute clip, man, where he's not a he's apologizing, but he also gets very emotional about the movie King Richard, which was a great film. Um, but he also just talks about life, and I feel like his words are very powerful in those 5 minutes. But I would definitely tell our viewers to check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he talks about it in a speech. He's like, I'm not crying because I won this award. I'm crying just for like everything that I've put into it and everything about like the movie and like the award stuff and just how big it is for him. But what
Mhm.
were you gonna say, EJ?
I was gonna say like, and for all that, even if you don't listen to the full speech, just listen to this like quote that Denzel told him was probably one of the most powerful quotes that I've heard in a while. So, in the highest of moments, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you. So, like, that's that's very true, and like I feel like that should hit everybody, regardless. I mean, that's a big statement. So, just sort of be careful and know that you're gonna be tried during like your biggest moments, just like Will was. Obviously, he said he didn't handle it the right way, but hopefully he can grow from it as a person. Like you said, he already issued his statement out to Chris Rock with his apology, so we'll see how that if that helps even things over. But go ahead, Lang.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that he issued his apology. Said something along the lines of like we're celebrities, jokes are part of like our lives, like, and we just have to like be
Mhm.
used to it. Which is interesting because Jada said the same thing back in 2016 or 2018 whenever they boycotted it. She
Mhm.
said a similar thing from what Chris Rock said. Just saying about how like we're celebrities, jokes are part of our lives, and we just got to get used to it. One thing I saw on TikTok today that was kind of interesting was Jada was an interview, and the TikTok was posted 6 days ago from Jada's official TikTok account, just talking about how her growing up in like the 80s and 90s, about how like the big thing for um, black women's hair, trying to base it off of like European hair, like basically like white people hair, and how they couldn't really do their own style, and like how it's hard to get their hair the way like fans and like other celebrities wanted them to. So eventually she got into her own groove and was like, I don't really care. And at the end of the snippet, she's like, I have a bald. This isn't exactly a quote, but basically was saying that she has a bald head and doesn't really care what other people say. So that was a little interesting. I know things can be taken differently, like in like especially at the Oscars when everyone's watching. It's a little different if like one on one someone says something, but when like the whole national audience is like laughing at a joke about your condition, it can be a little bit too much to handle. So I thought that was interesting. I don't really
Mhm.
have a point for it, but I just want to bring that up.
I have been seeing some funny memes though.
Yeah, definitely.
That again, as bad as the situation was, we will be laughing at jokes for this, whether it's right or wrong, for a while. I don't know if you guys have some of the funniest ones that you remember, but man, let me see. There's one that had me crying.
There's a lot talking about one of the I think a football player tweeted out talking about how Will Smith is a better man than me. I sent it in the group chat earlier.
Yeah.
Will Smith is a better man than me because I would never slap another man to defend another man's wife or girlfriend, whatever it was.
I got you right here.
Yeah,
Will
read it out.
Will better than me. I would never defend someone else's girl like that.
Yeah,
it's just out of pocket.
That was funny. Then there's this one too. It's like Chris Rock should have said back to Will, "That's why August is your least favorite month." That one had me.
Yep.
That one hurt. That was.
Well, I saw one. It was like, wow, Will's gonna act that way in March. I wonder how he's gonna react in August. I was like, wow,
Let me see. I saw. Hopefully, everybody knows who Mark Phillips and RDC World is.
funny.
So they put out a clip. They put out their video basically like later that night. Very funny. I highly recommend you guys watching that. But man, a lot of things for me. Just let me see. There was another one. Let's see if I have it in here. Sorry, uh, I can't find it. Oh, I can't find it. But there's some good ones. Oh, I think it was like all the rappers making the bars about
Oh yeah,
yeah, that Will Love, and then somebody said that J Cole lyric hit
uh-huh.
hard now.
I sent
They
one
said,
about a Drake lyric, like a fan
yeah,
made a like a fan fiction Drake lyric talking about it.
yeah. You said it said Drake already in the booth like at will I'll smack a man to get my rocks off if I'm feeling jaded. Devil come at your highest moments and I feel elated.
You already know someone's gonna make something about that. Some kind of lyrics
Yeah.
are gonna come out. But I will say, I will give credit to Chris Rock, just like not saying anything back, because if I think
Yeah.
if he would have said something back, it would have exploded even more,
Right.
and more drama. But that's all I have to say on that.
Back. What if he would have hit him back?
If Chris
Well,
Rock, that would have been bad.
we will cut the commercial, and that
Yeah.
also we had that black screen like
Hmm.
that, and we would have had a short interruption. And
The footage would have got out there though.
Yeah,
put
definitely.
that out there.
No, because there's already so many people in the stands, like just from like regular audience members at like the very, very top. Like I
Yeah.
follow this one person on TikTok. He was like, yeah, right after that they went to commercial break. I went to the bathroom and everyone was just in the bathroom like talking about it and having like their pictures of like their reactions during it and after it. So definitely people would have had footage of it from
Yeah.
cell phones. I'm sure the TV people would have had video of it too. But yeah, what a crazy night.
Crazy night, and that was like I don't know. All this stuff seems to happen like right before we start to talk about a podcast. Like we mentioned it, me and Lance were talking earlier. We did our little NFL power rankings right before before all the big news broke with Tyreek Hill and everything like that. And then Teron Armstead's like every day we do a podcast, something new happens, and all our stuff becomes outdated. I
Well,
found it was funny.
I'm more pissed off that so we typically record the podcast on Mondays. Try to upload it by Friday, at least on Apple. Depending on how long my computer wants to take to render the video version. Upload it on Fridays on YouTube as well. But like as I'm working on this podcast, I get notifications on my phone that says Tyreek Hill has been traded. I'm like, okay, whatever. Teron Armstead signs with the Dolphins, and that's just it hasn't happened like just one time. It's happened both times we recorded the podcast. So now people are gonna be like, oh, well, they forgot about this, and we're like, no, like we recorded this days in advance before everything happened. So I'm just very upset about that. NFL, you need to calm down. Let us be the first people to report it.
We gotta get our sources out there, man.
Yeah,
Give
yeah,
us
we got to get our sources. We'll figure it out as time goes on.
it was something funny. It was at work. I was talking to some of my coworkers about the list that we had come up with at while we were there. One of my friends, he's a big Dolphins fan. And he said, "Man, why you guys have us so low at 13 or wherever we had them?" And he tried to talk me up and like hype his team up. I think he has some insider information because literally the day after that they signed Armstead, they got Tyreek Hill and everything like that. I said, "Hey man, what are you doing trading insider secrets like that? What do you know that I
Ridiculous.
didn't?"
Yeah, seriously. Um, I will say this as we go into a little bit of NFL talk before we wrap up here. Uh, why are the New York Jets always popping up as like trade destinations, free agent signings, and they haven't signed anyone? Like I've seen Tyreek Hill. According to rumors, Tyreek Hill was rumored to either go to the Jets or Miami, and then after he got traded to Miami, he was like, "Oh nah, I was never going to the Jets." But then now you see like AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, and I think
Debo
one
Samuel.
other, yeah, Debo Samuel was like rumored to go to the Jets, but they always have like big names in mind, but they can never sign them or trade for them. So like, why do they always keep popping up?
Hit
What
that
at
JD.
least what do you guys think?
That's all you,
I,
JD.
I would A couple of points. I'll probably say the market. Um, I'm guessing their draft capital is probably not the best, and they probably don't have a lot of pieces that they could possibly move for anybody. And kind of what Tyreek Hill said in his interview with the when he got introduced with the Miami Dolphins, man, he was like, it was always Miami. The Jets never came up in my mind anyway. But I mean, that's tough to deal with, going to Miami, or do you want to go play up there with the Jets with Zach Wilson and Bob Saleh, you know? But man,
I don't know, it's weird. It's just because that New York market, like you said. I mean, it's just like how comparing it to like how NBA was. Like you're a proud franchise, a historic franchise. You haven't been good or relevant in a while or whatever. So like that's how I dealt with as the Lakers for a little bit before we got LeBron. Like every free agent, you're always don't give me that look, JD. I'm saying those 4 years while I tried to support my team, y'all always gave me crap. Y'all were happy about it, but like you understand what I'm saying though. Those markets always will attract players, and you'll get those rumors, even though they may never ever go there, and they may
Yeah.
not be on the list in the first place.
So, who, in your guys' opinion, who was the last best Jets player?
Last best,
Yeah.
I feel like it should be one answer. I-
You got your
can-
answer, JD?
let me hear
Like
EJ.
like the most recent. Who
the
would you
most
say is like the best? And like this is all to your standards of like what best means. So you can even go back and say Mark Sanchez if you wanted to.
Nobody's saying Mark Sanchez. As much as I love him, USC grad and alum. Love USC. That's one of my college schools for football. But if you don't say Darrell Revis, you're not watching football.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that's
Glad we're
that's
all on the
only,
same page.
that's only the right answer.
If
Now,
it wasn't him, I was probably gonna say maybe Jamal Adams. I don't see
now that glorified lineman.
Scott. I don't know who. Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey
Plaxico
man,
Burris.
It's
hey, hey, respect LT. That man was a dog when he was there for a couple years.
yeah.
And
Forgot
hey,
he was there.
And Mike Vick.
Mike, you're
And
right.
hey, wasn't Gino there for a few years too?
Hey man, Antonio Cromartie, they had that defense.
It was tough that year.
Yeah,
Hey,
they were tough.
hey, Saints great. Jonathan Vilma got him from the Jets.
It's true.
Did we say Bart Scott?
Yeah, we said
Yeah,
Bart.
did we?
Yeah. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
What else happened in the NFL? Obviously,
that,
this is the Rambling with the Homies podcast, so we don't really have a script because we just ramble. But what
yeah.
were you gonna say, EJ?
I'll say that rumor with Brady potentially trying to make a trade to the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's like somebody tried to compare the rosters. Like, hey man, Gronk's not signed yet. Look at the receivers that they have in Miami. Their young team they have is very similar to what happened to Miami or in Tampa. And I was like, bro, he's not going to. He's not going to Miami.
I
Why
hope.
would,
Sorry,
go
EJ,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, why would you leave the NFC least at the moment? Just because every contender feels like is in the AFC this year. Obviously, outside like Tampa Bay and the Rams for sure out the NFC, but like it's ridiculous the talent the AFC had, which we talked about our last episode. But go ahead, Lang.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So, I know at least there's rumors of like a Tom Brady Last Dance type documentary. I hope that they really go into detail on why he came back for this season. If there was like stuff at home, because obviously there's a jokes on Twitter where he's like he spent 1 month at home, got tired of being at home and dealing with his kids and his wife, and then wanted to go back to the league. So I really hope they kind of deep dive into that. Obviously, it's going to be a long documentary with his whole career. So that'll be interesting when that goes on.
They already got the Man in the Arena, like a 12-part documentary on ESPN Plus of
Yeah.
every Super Bowl he's won. So I
Yeah.
don't know what else they could make. I mean,
Mhm.
like I said, they'll probably do one for his last year right now, but
Yeah.
And whose documentary do you think is gonna be better? You think that obviously we had the Last Dance with Jordan. What do you think that LeBron doc's gonna be like when he's finally retired and gets his thing, and then we have Brady's doc? With those three, which one do you think is gonna be the top?
I think
Hypothetically, obviously. 'Cause we
I
still
think
don't-
hypothetically LeBron. I think by that
yeah,
I would say Bron because by that time he would pass Kareem in all-time points, which might not be touched again. And if you really look at it, he really doesn't have that many games left to pass him if he averages like 27 to 30 points a game, something like that. Like he could do it next season. I don't think he will do it next season, but
Do you think he will?
I mean, it depends on if he sits out games and like rest games, and depending on. So I think he really turned it up a notch because he's like, look, my team's not really that great. I'm just gonna go score buckets every night.
We're injured. We're injured.
Well,
Playing,
exactly. But
playing.
like, as he's not gonna waste his time and be like, all right, I'm not gonna play, because he already wasted a good amount of his season the first year he got to LA because he was hurt. I am curious to see how he comes back from that ankle injury. Is it the same ankle he injured earlier in the season?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it was his left ankle though. I think that's what he's had issues with his left knee. I believe. I'm
And
taking.
because he rolled his right ankle, I think. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he did because it rolled in.
Yeah. Then that one rolled out. No. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was. I saw the picture of it. It was touching the ground just like AD's. Not pretty.
But either way, I think LeBron's documentary will be better just because, especially, I'm sure they have a ton of film from the 3-1 year.
Yeah.
I listened to the Road Tripping podcast with RJ and Channing Frye. They talk about that year all the time, and it just sounds like there's so much stuff that they could throw in there that it could be a documentary by itself.
Which it probably will be.
Mhm.
I'll say one quick thing before we wrap up, man. Just because you guys brought up with the scoring thing. Funny enough, for whatever reason, we're looking at this at work. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, leading scorer, right? Man, he had one 3-point shot in his career. This makes that even crazier. We were breaking it down.
Crazy.
If you took LeBron's all his 3-point shots away, he would be, I believe it's 8th on the list right now. So he would drop down 7 spots or 6 spots, which is just crazy if you take away all his
Still
3-pointers.
insane.
Yeah. That just shows you, like, as great as LeBron is, and then he will obviously staying healthy. He'll take that record from Kareem. Show you how great Kareem was.
Yeah,
Ridiculousness.
insane. JD, you got anything to say?
It's good to see the Lakers sucking, man. You know,
Hey, man.
I love to
it's
see
a,
the Lakers lose, but I hate to see that LeBron's losing. Because I
It's
really want him to
fine.
get at least 1 or 2 more chips before he finally calls it quits.
he's
Hey,
good.
man.
He's solid.
Yeah.
Let him get that scoring.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see him to get the scoring title.
Yeah, Bronny come in the league, pass him the torch. You know,
Yeah,
walk out to the sunset. You know, all right.
Yeah. Do his
Hey, man.
movies. Space Jam 3.
I'm speaking into existence right now. Lakers gonna make it in the playoffs. We're gonna win the play-in tournament. We're gonna have a healthy AD, Braun, Russ. We're gonna knock off Phoenix in the first round. Go to the second round. Win that. Then we might lose in the Western Conference Finals.
You should have
Still-
stopped at. You should have stopped at healthy AD.
Hey, man, he's back here. His first full practice, full scrimmage today, full practice. So he's good. He's gonna be back. Hey, book it. I'm saying it right now. The Lakers would go farther than the Celtics in the playoffs this year. I'm saying it. Timestamp. What's today's date? March 28th, 11:35.
That's
a fact.
a hot take right there, EJ.
It's not a hot take. I'm a real fan. I know it's gonna happen.
See, whoever's listened to this podcast, whether it's the video version or Apple Podcast, this is what we're talking about when EJ is the most delusional sports fan between the Saints, the Lakers, and we don't really talk about your other sports because we don't really talk about. You're an Indiana Fever fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad to see that girl go. I think she was a Chicago Sky now.
Yeah, I can't really talk about WNBA because I just don't watch it a lot. That and I don't think you're too delusional about that. We should go to a Fever game this summer though.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I'm down.
That'd be sick. I've never been.
Yes, they're a really fun time. We used to have season tickets back in the day.
Because
I
they're
actually-
in the what's the Pacer Stadium called or the arena?
They
Well,
just- They just renamed it.
did they?
Yeah.
What did
Because
it used to be called? Wells Fargo?
It used to be Banker's House.
Banker Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse, that's what it was.
Then it was Conseco Fieldhouse.
Because
And
Wells
it's-
Fargo is 76ers, right?
Yes,
I think
maybe.
so.
Yeah,
don't
something
know.
like that. But just because you brought it up real quick, I was actually at the championship game when the Fever won their first finals, which was actually really cool.
When was that?
Ooh. Tamika Catchings was still playing.
Oh wow.
So This was
High school.
I think
this
high
was
school.
I don't, it was either high school or I don't know if it was high school or maybe it could have been middle. Like
Because
I
you
actually
did a lot of games, man.
I think it might have actually been high school. I think it was high school. I think CJ had been to some games with me,
Yeah.
so I want to say it was high
I'm pretty
school.
sure because you guys went to
Yeah,
a lot of
'cause we
games.
met. We met.
2012, the
Yeah,
Fever defeated the Lynx 3-1.
yeah, because we were at some of their games because we thought we recorded some of them. We thought we almost had some game winners that we had recorded there, but like we met going to Fever games was really fun. We met Skylar Diggins.
I
We saw
forgot about that.
Moore. I got to meet my cousin. Her name was Keisha Swanier when she played, so I got to meet her. So that was really cool. But like, they're all really chill too. Like
Yeah,
WNBA stars and really players, they're really really cool. Obviously, I'm saying that from like the handful of experiences that I've had.
yeah. What other WNBA teams do we have around us besides Fever? Is that it?
Um, that's the closest one that we could probably attend easily. I
Yeah,
know
because
DC has
Minnesota
their
has one,
team,
DC has
Minnesota
one,
has one, Chicago,
Chicago. Yeah, I forgot about Chicago.
Liberty, Connecticut Sun.
I want a Liberty jersey so bad, man.
Bro, oh my! I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the WNBA low-key had the hardest jerseys. What was that
Hmm.
last summer? That summer they released all the new ones. The Sabrina one sold out so quick. That
Hmm.
oh, it was
And
so
she's a
pretty.
baller too. She's
And
killer.
so, yeah, I was let me see. The Fever had a nice collab with Stranger Things when they released theirs. That was
That was
really
sick.
cool.
I remember that.
Like there's a lot. I've I need to stop because I have an issue. If I'm a big jersey guy, as these two know. Like
You do have an issue.
I could probably it's bad. I can probably go almost 2 months wearing a different jersey,
Jesus.
Insane.
which is pretty bad.
I can go like so. I think between my basketball jerseys, my football jerseys, and my soccer jerseys, I could probably go like maybe at 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
So I have a lot more soccer jerseys than I do anything.
Ooh, while we're on the subject, what's your most? I'll start with EJ first. What's like your most valuable jersey?
valuable.
Yes, or most like rare, like no.
Uh,
If you walk down the street,
I
nobody's
have
ever.
a. I can grab it real quick. It's probably one of my favorite ones that I don't see it often, but it's like that. That there's one jersey I don't have that I really want, but I'll say that another time. But it's like that blue and white with the 4 stars, that Kobe jersey with the Lakers.
Hmm.
That's probably the coolest one that I have
That
that
one's hard.
I don't see a lot of people wear. And then the one I really want that I'm gonna try to do everything I can to find an official one. I really want to get the MLPS, the Minneapolis Lakers, that powder blue like
Hmm.
Chargers color right now with the powder blue and yellow. I really want one of those jerseys so
Those are
bad.
beautiful.
Yeah.
What about you,
What about
JD?
you, Jody?
If I had to say I give him so much slack, but I got a St. Vincent St. Mary LeBron jersey, man.
That's sick.
My brother gave it to me, I think, when he went to college, and my brother's had this jersey for years, man. I'm thinking about. I do want to probably get it cleaned up and probably get it framed one day, just to have it. But yeah,
Yeah, I still
Definitely.
have that Laker jersey you gave me all those years ago, that Kobe one. That I think your brother used to wear, that long one, that when that was back to style.
Mm,
I'm gonna try to do the same thing, get that framed up.
that'd be sick. I would say mine is a Christian Ponder jersey.
Jesus
Just kidding. I found that at Ross for like $5 one day in E-Town.
Wait, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, they
yeah,
robbed you.
yeah. They robbed me. I had to pay for a Christian Ponder jersey. They should have just gave it for free. I would say either one I got recently was that the purple Raptors Tracy McGrady jersey. I never really see anyone wear the McGrady one. I always see the Vince Carter one.
Yes.
Just because a lot of people are casuals forget that McGrady started in Toronto, and I would say the other one. So you guys remember like LeBron's early days in Cleveland,
Yeah.
like the what was it? Like the they weren't like really purple.
The Navy one?
Yeah, the navy one. Yeah, the navy one back in the day. You remember what I'm talking about, JD?
The class,
They're
the old classic
classics.
version. before they got the revamp with all the red and the white, because they don't wear the navy ones like that anymore. I know what you're talking about, Lang.
Yeah, I got that one last summer, and that's like one of my favorite ones. It looks like this, JD.
Ooh, I did like that.
Yeah, yeah, I love those ones. Those have been one of my favorites that I've been wanting to get for a while, so I finally pulled the trigger and got one last year.
Who knows? Maybe if people like want to see it or whatever, we can go through our jersey collections one episode. I don't know
Yeah,
how many people
definitely.
see that. I know that might be for like people for like they're watching on YouTube, but we could that could be a topic for the future.
Yeah, definitely. And it won't even really have to be like a podcast episode either.
Yeah.
It could just be like a YouTube special.
Yeah.
If anyone can find me a Kwame Brown jersey, I would
Want,
appreciate it.
want a Laker one? I got you, man.
I'll take a Kwame Brown jersey.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who still have it.
Yeah.
That or Robert Sacre.
I'm sure EJ's got that.
You put respect on Robert Sacre's name, man. That was
What?
Mitch Kupchak's man. That was his baby.
You got a Lakers Ryan Kelly jersey too?
Hey man, Ryan Kelly was a hooper. And you stop disrespecting my Lakers greats.
He's a
Xavier Henry, he was like that. That was that dude.
Hey, I liked him in 2K. He was a good 2K player.
Yep.
dude.
But in real life, is a
Man. Hey, the GOAT. Everybody knows who the GOAT is. Alex Caruso. Yeah.
and
Tough
Jeremy
jersey.
Lin.
Crickets. Yeah, we don't say that. It's a 3 GOAT race. It's a 4 GOAT race. My bad. Let put respect. Braun, Kobe, Jordan, and Alex Caruso. Man, he's like that.
Interesting take. I think with that, I'm ready to wrap up the podcast because I'm sick and tired of Laker talk. Love LeBron, but sick and tired of the Lakers.
And then best franchise in the league. 17.
Whatever
More
you
than-
say. I'm
more
just
than
waiting
so-
for the. I need the Celtics to win this year, so
Sorry,
EJ can shut up.
man.
Obviously because my Rockets are out. But it's okay. We'll bounce back in 3 years.
He said 3 years.
3 years? Ooh.
3 years. Yeah. Yeah. We got 2 first-round draft picks this year. Hopefully both of them are lottery picks. Hopefully top 5.
Who would you
We'll
want to
see.
get?
We'll give you Russ.
I think I talked about this to you guys earlier. I don't remember if I mentioned it in a podcast or not, but I don't want Chet. I don't
Yeah.
think he's gonna pan out. I think he's gonna be like another Bol. No disrespect to Bol. I just think they're too skinny.
He reminds me just of Porzingis.
Yeah.
He does. He's got good footwork. Like you see him like play at Gonzaga. He's got really good footwork, can do a lot of good stuff, but at the same time, like I hate Gonzaga, and we can talk about this another day. I think they're very overrated every year. And 2, they play in a terrible conference, so you don't really get to see him like match up very well. But even during the tournament, he had a really good tournament run.
They lost to St. Mary's this year, right?
Yeah, they did,
Yeah, see?
and they're in their conference. So, one, I think their coach needs to get more criticism. I know John Calipari gets a lot of criticism for obvious good reasons, but I think there's a lot of other coaches that need the same criticism, if not more. But what were we talking about? Oh, who I want for the Rockets? I mean, obviously, if it falls our way, I want Jabari. Jabari
Parker?
first. Yeah, Jabari Parker, yes. Forget that guy. Jabari. And then if we can't get Jabari, I want Paolo. I think he's going to be really good for us. Other than that, I got to dive back down and see who else I want. We need a big man, so.
I want Drew Timmy to go to the Celtics.
Hey, you can have Christian Wood. We're trying to trade him.
We'll give you a Russ for him.
Jesus.
I mean, we tried. I think we tried trading for Russ, but you guys want to throw in a first-round draft pick, so.
John Wall is not worth the first round draft pick.
I would have taken John Wall.
You're drunk.
I want John Wall to play right now, but they won't play him.
Exactly.
We'll see. This will be a discussion for another day.
Yeah, we're already getting a little bit too long.
And all I'm gonna say, how to end this up, because we started with some of like the women's college basketball NCAA tournament. Louisville closed it out, so Final Four is gonna be really good this year. We got Louisville, South Carolina on one side, and UConn, Stanford on the other. So either
When
way,
they play this weekend?
I believe so. So all the one seeds made it except NC State and UConn. Arguably would have been a one seed if Paige hadn't got hurt. So should be a really exciting weekend of games. So hopefully everybody tunes in for those games to see what it's all about.
Definitely.
I got UConn.
You got UConn Louisville.
Yep.
I think Louisville takes it all the way.
I want us to. I want us to, but that South Carolina match is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough game. So hopefully it comes through.
Yeah. Comment down below if you're watching the YouTube video. Who do you think is going to win the Final Four? Are you Team Will or Team Chris? And comment if you guys have any questions for us. Make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcast. Hopefully we get us up on Spotify here soon. Check us out in the description. I put our social medias and the other past videos. So give us a follow. Tweet at us. Tell us your hot sports take. You can tweet at me. I tweet back. I don't know about JD and EJ, but
I'll respond.
yeah. I'm sure JD will. He might come back with a slick comment if you give him something back.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching. Like I said, we'll try to upload weekly on Fridays. Maybe if our podcast gets too long, we can split it up and upload 2 episodes per week. But until then, thanks for watching this Rambling with the Homies, episode 3. Come back next week for episode 4.
Nice.
Deuces.
See you guys.